Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans. With that, let's head over to the space city of Houston. Standing by at NRG Stadium, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, they can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They're led out by their big-bodied electric quarterback, Cam Newton.
Cam has all the skills that you're looking for. The arm that can do everything, the ability to run, hard to bring down because of his size, but the joy that he plays the game, I think that's his stock in trade. That's his calling card. That's what sets him apart from other players.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. 13 yards, first down, Panthers.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. Quick slant, caught by Moore. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Newton. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Bernard McKinney is one of the tallest inside linebackers that you'll see in the game, but he has the bulk to go along with it. And I do think that his height is actually an advantage for him. It used to be that you're worried about tall guys inside because they had to fight off low blocks. But I think his ability to see into the offensive backfield, see what's going on, and read it allows him to diagnose plays quicker and get there in a hurry.
Check 55.
Looking to throw on second down. Newton, he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. On now, Graham Gano. He's hit from 63 as recently as last year. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. And now out comes Houston. Well, it was a long attempt to begin with, so the fake you might have known was somewhat of a possibility. Credit to the defense, though. They weren't fooled.
You're right, they weren't fooled, and they were in a position of having to play it both ways. Guard for the fake, but you still want to rush the kicker because it was a makeable kick. So they ended up getting the best out of the whole thing. Stuffed the fake, and they take over the ball.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A quick throw out wide to Fuller. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Set, 19, 59. Not today, Mark. Not today.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Watch the pass.
Out of the gun, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Finding fouls complete. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Carolina getting set to take the field. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
He's crossing. He's checking.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got his target. That's more. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards, the final tally.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Newton will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now a run with McCaffrey. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 41, Newton. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Newton now to throw. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. DeAndre Carter is deep for the Texans. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Watson on 1st down. It's complete to Hopkins. That one goes for 24 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. From the gun, here's Watson. Open man, the tight end Fells. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Watson with a give to Miller. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he's up in it after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the gun, here's Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Panthers 1st down, 17 yards on the play.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Here we go. It's set, ready? Don't say nothing.
On 1st down, Newton. And his throw is incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Brings up third down.
Ready? 180. Double dog. That's the way. Ready?
On third down, Newton got a man. It's right. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 33. Newton now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. McCaffrey, and an alley to run, and taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
The first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division every year is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. They'll run with Davis. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
To throw on 3rd down, Newton. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now out comes Houston. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw, Watson sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Watson now on third down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. We're scoreless after one. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Now it's Watson. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Watson now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Miller. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
What is that? 19, 54. 6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
On 2nd down now. It's Miller, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. From the 50, it's Watson. 20! He finds Hopkins complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And that one results in 35 yards. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Set the tone, defense.
They go back to the ground now with Miller. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. Watson from the gun. He'll throw. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the left hash, this from 39. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And heading back onto the field now, the Texans defense. And a big reason they've got the lead here in the first half. Some of these hits we're going to see here.
Almost like they're a group of superheroes, right? Something out of a comic book. Boom, pow, biff. They are really playing well and making things happen on their side of the ball.
Taking me back to my childhood a bit.
There you go. You had a collection, didn't you?
I did. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, McCaffrey. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Newton. He's going to look deep down the field. Trying for right, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Lamar Miller. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On first down, it's Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Here's Watson, rolling to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Watson, operating from the gun. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They can't stop Bruce Irvin there as he slips in for the sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. Look, there he goes left side. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, in a great play for that defensive unit. Graham Gano on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3.
Makes the score Panthers 7,
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Operating from the gun, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Throwing again is Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, 2nd quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume, here. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Newton to throw. And incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The Panthers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Newton. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the second time. On the return, Carter. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. He's got Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Out to his left. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
So in this case, you'd think the defense would be collapsing to the left side of the field, and they forced him to his left. So he just tucked it away and picked up some yardage.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
The Texans on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Carolina getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. A shotgun snap for Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. On the draw, this is Davis. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The Panthers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They begin with a run by Miller. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now on 2nd and 13. Watson flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. He'll buy some time right. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32 and obviously well short of the first down. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is taken at the 18. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now.
Hey, set, ready? Man left. Hey, you got 3,
They run with Bovada, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
The best play callers in any league know how to break their tendencies. They study themselves, they self-scout, and they realize most of the time you don't call a draw play on 1st and 10. So every so often you insert that play just to make the defense think, even if it's not successful.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Operating from the gun, Newton. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the interception, here's Watson. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Dontari Poe marches in for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing on second down. Watson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Well, from what we've seen thus far, this is not a formula for winning football. When you have more turnovers than points scored, that's a tough way to try and win a game.
Carolina getting set to take the field. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A run here with Bonifant. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. from the gun. Newton looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Newton. Airing it out for Olsen. He's got a man. Complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. To throw is Newton. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Throwing again is Newton. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This fielded at the 2. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Second half begins with a run from Miller. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Let's go.
Here's Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in check on the scoreboard. He may try and run for this. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
A shotgun handoff now to Miller. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Again, it's Miller. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. They'll toss it to Miller. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Get in the right room. Get
Out of the gun, Watson. They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 37.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Watson. Open man, the tight end fails. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for third down. From the gun, here's Watson. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Newton now to throw. To the right side, and he's got more, complete. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. McCaffrey on the counter. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Newton. That's to McCaffrey, complete. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been terrific so far. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. A shotgun snap for Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now it's Miller. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Watson. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He may try and run for this. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Watson, operating from the gun, sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Watson. He'll find Miller. That's complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you it's not very good.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Here we go.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 11. They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
At the 14-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Complete to right. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And now out comes Houston. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A nice pickup on 1st down, 7 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Watson, pass incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. And he is finally going to be brought down, but not before he gets it to the Panthers' 32-yard line.
I'd sure love to offer some advice to the defensive coordinator, but his guys are just getting run over by an offense that's executing like a well-oiled machine.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a first down throw, Watson. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
What is that? 19! Right there, 54 Mike. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Line up, go. Mike by 4, Mike by 5.
Looking to throw on second down. Watson. And a catch made by Hopkins. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain there of 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Watson on first down. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Dontari Poe able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To throw is Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Back to throw, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's Newton. And a coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw again, Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Newton now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
So out on the field now, Graham Gano in a big spot. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Had a chance to give themselves there some important wiggle room, but went awry.
Yeah, let's do the simple math here. And you know, for me, it has to be simple. Instead of this thing kind of giving them that wiggle room you talked about, now we're talking about possibly losing a ball game because they left the door open.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe
that. Super tall.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 2 yards and able to get the 1st down in the process.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4 down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He's going to look deep, end zone for Hopkins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They were trying to erase that deficit in one play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say, that was a game-saving play.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 28. On 1st down, Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Let's go, defense.
Throwing again is Watson. He's got Fuller. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Carolina getting set to take the field.
Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? So they take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right, and you just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing, but at that point, maybe close to letting it slip away. This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there, keeps the sticks moving.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Newton. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's north of 150 yards in this game. He's been doing his thing, hasn't he?
That he has, and he's been enjoying himself. And it's the type of game that you get locked into a pretty good groove. May not be record-shattering, but it's the type of game that if you accumulate that throughout a season, you're going to be one of the top receivers in the game.
See how much they incorporate him here on this drive. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Watson now to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now it's Watson. Open man, the tight end falls. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that?
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I'll guarantee you, he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. The great move couldn't free him. Taken down at the 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They face a 2nd down, but they are in field goal range. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Newton. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Gano's kick is right through. And the lead grows to 4. It's 13-9. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, Those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Watson and the Texans now down 13-9. A little under a minute 50 remaining. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Watson trying to get his guys moving.
47's the Mike, boy. 47. Check.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Bruce Irvin in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
He's back to throw. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Watson. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
Under review.
Watson's pass, intended for DeAndre Hopkins, incomplete.
So the ref makes a call, no touchdown there, wipe it off the board. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now it's Watson. Fells has it, left side. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. From the red zone now, Watson. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. So long from Houston.